My name is Tug Wilson and this is the Beamfit introduction. In the Beam, the B stands for balance, E engagement of the core, A alignment of the spine, and the M is the movement, and that's what we'll be doing. To perform this movement correctly, we need to know how to be engaging our core, abdominal area and the pelvic floor. So let's run through that first. To engage our abdominal area, imagine you have a weightlifter's belt on, the big thick ones with 10 notches on there. Round the waist and pull it as tight as you can, sucking in the umbilical area, your belly button. You can imagine a piece of string if you want to, coming through the back. Pull it all the way in as tight and as far as you can. Now release it back down again. Now take it to the 5th notch. You're halfway, 50%, pull it in. Halfway abdominal area, we know where that is. Release it back down. Now let's take it to 30%. 3rd notch on that big belt. That's 30%. That's the abdominal part of the core engaged, and that's what we want to keep it from we open our eyes in the morning until we fall asleep back at the night time. The pelvic floor. The easiest way to describe how to operate the pelvic floor is we're waiting for a very important delivery to arrive, and you say it's going to be there at 10 o'clock in the morning. You're waiting at about 5 to 10. You think you've got to go for a pee because that's all happened to us. 10 o'clock arrives and you wait and they don't get there. You have to go. So while you're there, we have to stop ourselves in mid-flow, and we've all been there. That operation and stopping yourself in mid-flow is your pelvic floor engagement. So if we engage that lower pelvic floor now and squeeze, imagine it's a lift shaft and it's getting pulled up to the 10th floor. So really tight, pull that pelvic floor up and hold it there. Relax it back down again. Now we're going to take it to the 5th floor, halfway, just pulling the pelvic floor up, nice tight squeeze, relax it back down. Let's take it to 30%, up to 30%, we can hold that there, pull the abs in at 30%, and that is your central core area engaged. Remember, your core starts in the middle of your head, ends up in the middle of your big toe, it's right through the body, not just this area, that's your central core we've got engaged. 30% from when you wake up in the morning till you fall asleep at night time. So in the Beamfit videos and any nil equip video exercises that I do, I'll always say your 30%, that's the area that I mean. The other area we need to focus on is the neutral spine. Our spine is not straight, as we know, it's got a natural curve in it. It's important that we have neutral spine in this area. And the easiest way to get that going is, if I put my hands on my hips, have the thumbs just aligned here on the hip bones, and if I tilt the pelvis forward and back and get a nice gentle rock going, we can also imagine there's a car headlight on that pelvic area and the light is shining up and back down again. So we get that pelvic rock going to there. I can feel where all the way to the front is and all the way to the rear. So if I slow that down, I can find the midpoint. And I'm not tilting my pelvis at the hips with the hands. That's the midpoint just there. That's my neutral spine. So whenever we say 30% neutral spine, that's how we find it. But we need to be doing those two operations from when we get up in the morning, like I said before, until we relax at night time, and particularly in all our exercise. It protects our lower back and gives us that added strength and the balance. Okay, Beamfit was developed and designed by a guy called David Mesereau in the States, and I first became a Beamfit instructor at about the same time I became a Nordic walking instructor. And believe it or not, I've maintained classes, and the Nordic walkers, we actually get them to do Beamfit classes as well when we finished our walks, because it's both got a lot of crossover points and a lot of similarities. Beamfit may be bare feet and on a balance beam 5 feet long, 6 inches wide and 2 inches high, made of soft foam. And we know Nordic walkers are going to use the poles. However, the crossover points are the stability and operation of the core, balance, coordination, group cohesiveness and working together, and a great sense of well-being. And it's good for us because it gives us good fun in the class. The focus and concentration is extra in there, as any Pilates class should be. And remember, no matter what your sport is, no matter what level of fitness you are at, you should introduce and be having at least once a week some form of yoga or Pilates exercise class in with whatever training that you're doing. Okay, we haven't got beams, and these are virtual Beamfit classes. So all I've done is, I've taken a roll of tape and placed a strip on the floor 5 feet long, because that's the length of the beam. So in the videos, whenever I'm mentioning the beam, that's what I'm getting at on the floor. It's a barefoot exercise, and the reason being is, if we've got socks or trainers or any type of shoes on, we are educating the body to balance inside the soles. We don't want to do that. We want to have bare feet, and that way we are educating our body through the nervous system, our focus and concentration, to balance correctly. I never realised till I started instructing on the beam how many people actually walk around all day with their toes curled up tightly under their feet. That's stress. It's not good for return of circulation. So that's why we have the barefoot exercise. And remember, balance is something we start losing on average from the age of 23. Not 63, 73, 83, but in our younger days. But we can trick the brain, that's why we like doing fitness, into thinking we're younger and keep ourselves nicely balanced, focused, with concentration and fitness and fun. Alright, so the beam. That's my beam there. And when I'm stepping and walking, every time I step, as I roll forwards, it's heel to toe motion forwards, toe to heel to the rear, and I make sure the foot is in line down the middle of that tape all of the time. That straight away standing with one foot in front of the other is cutting down this area that we are balanced on anyway. And when we put the movement in, that's going to change everything, okay? So, if I stand at the back of my beam, I've got my right foot to the rear, the left foot to the front, and 3-step beam walks would be there, there, and here. Heel toe coming forwards and to the rear, toe heel, and toe heel. That there is what we call the 3-step beam walk. My arms at the minute, I call those robot arms. And as we go through and do the videos, you'll get used to the different movements that we do, but it's all kept basic. I like things being nice and easy. We don't want to complicate things. Life is complicated enough. That is a 3-step beam walk. I'm going to stop there. It's a nice short intro. Once you know how to engage them cores and everything, and I'll see you in the first fitness session.